Yo, what's going on, fam? How y'all doing? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? What's good, family? How y'all doing? What's good, family? How y'all doing? What's good? What's good? What's good, family? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's good, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We're gonna start 25 seconds. What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on, fam? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? 2 more seconds. All right. All right, let's start. All right, the title of this video is the banks getting desperate to lend money. And it's true, I don't know if you guys been paying attention to everything, but right now we head into a global depression. And I'm not talking about just finances. I'm talking about everything, consumers and everything like that. Everything is going down. And it leaves banks with almost so much capital to lend out, but the ability for them to lend, they can. But they have been tightening up they've been tightening up their requirements on their lending capacity. So this is where you get that the rich get rich and the poor get poor. You get what I'm saying? Because right now, we practically in a recession. When you're dealing with a recession, everything goes up, and it's like everything else goes down. As far as like the amount of money you make, because when you're looking at how inflation works, you're talking about some stuff you probably would have paid $2 for now $5, $6. And I've been noticing this for like almost a year, but it's just started hitting me because remember, it's hitting everybody in my family, everybody that I personally know. And I'm like, what is really going on? Like, y'all don't see what's going on. But most people, they going through life. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Most people going through life, and the regular jobs is not cutting it at all. That's why I try my best to bring people to a solution. Like, okay, what can you do right now to make a change? What can you do to make a couple 100,000? Because right now, $1,000 a week wouldn't even help you. Even though $1,000 a week is good, but in this time, because right now you got the price of houses shooting up, everything like, and a lot of more people in debt because people maxing out their credit cards. A lot of people don't have financial literacy on how to make money. They don't know any of this. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, right now we stuck in a real big crisis, family, a big crisis, especially the based off the conditions and everything like that, what's going on in the world, and people seeing like, listen, look at y'all family, y'all don't see a lot change, like a lot changed, like so many people out here. It's literally like a war. You get what I'm saying? It's really a war. So everybody like, man, increase our wages and something gotta change. But I ain't gonna lie, nothing gonna change. The goal is to wipe out the lower class, wipe everyone out. And that's what they've been doing economically, whether that be like mass incarceration, whether that be through making us sick through vaccinations and everything like that. That's why I try my best to try to teach you guys, like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is the plan. This is how you can get ahead, because it's really not a secret. So let me explain it like this. Um, I explained it plenty of times, but I want to break this down. So the rich get richer, usually like this. The rich get rich by borrowing money from the banks on real estate. And why do they use real estate out of any business tactic? Because understand this, everything in this world can be duplicated but land. That's one thing that real estate experts know. That's one thing what business corporations know. Real estate cannot be multiplied. Real estate cannot be duplicated. So that's why you will have all these Grant Cardones and you will have these companies that doing mixed use commercial projects and everything like that. Because what the rich do is they borrow, right? They borrow a fraction of money and they put it into real estate, whether they be investing into development properties or they will deal with properties that's already developed. But whether or not, they still invest into real estate. So some people are like, okay, how can I start with real estate? What do I have to do? Now, it's a few ways you can do it. Let's just say you are a regular person, right? Let's just say you have no corporation. Now, usually you can go through a loan called a construction loan. Now, this construction loan, you might be getting it as a consumer, but if you find your own blueprints, your own building plans, and you get the right location, you can possibly build a home that can be double the amount of equity for the house. So say, for instance, it costs $400,000 to build this house, but what if the house was valued at over $800,000? So you got $400,000 in equity. That's what I mean. Let's just say if you're dealing with a house that, let's just say if you built the house, it's worth $1 million and you only put in, and you bought it for $500,000. You get what I'm saying? So what the rich do is they take out almost something called an LTV loan, a loan to value. So this is where big development companies come in play. So you talking about they buy a project, let's just say they buy a development site and they probably get over 300 acres, right? So let's just say if the project costs over 600 million. Now, usually the banks are only charged 10%. So that means the corporation will have to come up with 10% of the full amount. So if the full amount is 600 million, the builders will have to come to the table with 60 million. So they have to come to the table with 60 million. So that 60 million, once they get all the properties up and everything like that, that's when they go ahead and sell it. Let's just say if some can't sell, they can use the equity from that home and borrow against it with that same banking institution, and they can get more capital. So the goal of the rich is to borrow as much money as possible. So the same thing, I'm telling you guys, the same thing what the rich do. The rich don't invent light bulbs. The rich don't create a new concrete or anything like that. Yes, you have a lot of people that invent a lot of items, but the way the rich get rich is just borrowing money from the bank. So the same thing I'm telling you guys, the rich don't apply any different method than that, borrowing money from the bank. But some people might say, how can I borrow money? You got to start from somewhere. You got to know where you at. You got to understand where your credit is at, right? And it's not really just about credit, because when you reach that level, you'll get to a point where you don't have to use your personal credit. But I'm talking about as an individual, not a real major corporation that's been in business for over 20 plus years. You're talking about a person who have minimum credit history and they want to start off like that. But it really don't even have to limit to real estate. But I'm just telling you, that's how most people obtain their wealth, is through real estate. Now, if you want to go an opposite way, let's just say if you want to borrow money and you got, I don't know, a shoe store, or you a mechanic, or you repair houses, you repair homes, you can borrow money on behalf of that. You get what I'm saying? But the reason why real estate is one of the easiest, hold on one second. So the reason why real estate is one of the easiest ways how, like how people get rich, is because that's one thing that the bank will lend you. And the reason why they will always lend to a person who dealing with real estate is because real estate is one of the bank's biggest assets. When you're looking at a bank's portfolio and their income bracket, you're going to find out that real estate, whether that be home loans, construction properties, commercial properties, those are the bank's biggest asset. There's not one thing that the bank has that supersedes real estate. Not one thing, not one investment, not stocks and bonds, not mutual funds or anything. Because remember, that is how the banks get paid. And the bank's only interested in investing into real estate. So that's why so many people are buy real estate, buy so much they can, just so they usually buy the real estate just to borrow against it. So some people might buy a property for 16 million, but yeah, it might sold for 16 million, but the value of the property can be worth 20 million. So if it's worth 20 million, that's $4 million in equity. So if you can borrow $4 million from a property that you pay $16 million, $16 million for, then that's a gold mine. Because that's not the only thing that they do. Because remember, If they buy an investment property and it's worth 16 million, you can get your tenants to rent that same property out, and the only thing they paying back is the mortgage, including the equity line of credit that you borrow against that property. And you literally got $4 million to invest and get way more properties. So it's really one big game, y'all. One big game. The same stuff that I've been teaching, the same stuff that I've been going through. It's nothing different. But it's just some people don't know how to do it. Like some people be like, okay, how? What can I do? You get what I'm saying? So like I said, when you going at it as a personal route, that's when you have to take out a construction loan. But let's just say for those who taking out, a commercial line of credit. So I just explained the LTV loan, but of course you got to have a real established business. So let's just say if you are an investor, right, and you like to invest into rental properties. So when you come to the table, I know a company by the name of Rocket Mortgage that you can go through while being a private investor, right? You don't have to be a big corporation, but you can be a private investor and you can get a loan called a conventional loan. Or you can get an investment property because my lender does it as well, cross country mortgage. So you guys can contact my loan officer. His name Omar. So he deal with investment properties, and then their requirement is only 5% down. So if you put 5% down on an investment property, you can have that as part of your portfolio. So you can take that investment property, you can have one of your tenants rent it out, and they can be paying your rent. On top of that, you could take the extra equity or the capital that you get from the property and reinvest it. And then when it grows in equity over time, you can borrow against that home, and you could take out an equity line of credit and do it 2, 3 more times, get you a couple more tenants. So you play the game as it goes, family. That's how it mostly is. And yeah, family, appreciate it. But you play the game as it goes. You play it just like that. You play the game. You can't be around her just like, you got to play the game the same way it's supposed to go. You have to understand how it works. And once you get to that point where you borrow against 3 to 4 properties, that's when you get bigger. That's when you say, okay, I want to go into construction. I want to go into commercial properties. I want to go into rental properties. That's when I want to go into this. I want to go into that. That's what it mainly is. And trust me, the banks is thirsty to give out some money. But the only thing about it, of course, you got to have the credit criteria and everything like that. But I just dealt with so many students who benefit 100%. But it's like it's still way more for them to get than just the little business cards here, little business cards there, because they can go higher than that. They can go way higher. What banks? Credit union. There's a couple of them. So if you want to start off, you can start with Navy. If you with a Navy Fed. If you want to start off with Chase, that's a traditional bank, but Chase is really good with their products. So you won't have any issue if you go to Chase Bank. Thank you, family. Thanks. How to get back into Navy Federal account charged off. If the account's been charged off, you got to contact. What's the company name again? You got to contact. Dang, I forgot the name of that company, family. Man, you got to contact the collector. So you got to pay off the collection. So if you do got a collection, you got to pay it off, or you can take it off your credit report, however you want to do it. If the charge off amount not a whole lot, like $5, some people can literally get their accounts charged off for having $16 being negative or something like that. I had an account a long time ago. My account was negative $4 and they charged it off. So be careful. But yeah, family, they eager to give out money. They eager to give it out. Whether you want an auto loan, whether you want an investment for a boat, whether you want anything you want, family. Anything, anything. The sky's the limit. Just make sure that you prepare yourself properly. And also, family, I do credit criteria where I check over your credit report. So if anybody need their credit report looked over and they want me to recommend a certain bank to them, I got you. I got you, family. Just hit me up. But for the most part, family, what questions y'all have? What's some questions? What's some questions y'all have? I'm gonna look through this right now. Let me see. Can you get anything taken off your credit? Yeah, you can get everything. Now, the hardest thing to get taken off your credit to me would be bankruptcies. I think bankruptcies is hard. I think taking a home off your property is hard. Like if you got a foreclosure, It's very hard, but you can get it done, especially if the debt been charged off. Yeah, you can get it. You can handle that like that. Finally, I got enough to pay the 15. What can I expect? Okay, family, just let me know. So let me explain my mentorship, right? So I offer a full mentorship where I give you guys a summary of everything that I offer, right? So I pretty much teach you how to sell on Amazon. I teach you how to report credit to all 3 credit bureaus. I teach you how to change your status. I teach you how to get out of contracts with the state. I also teach you, what's the other one? How to avoid repossessions and get a lien release off your vehicle. But I go into debt. I mean, like, I go deeper when I explain those processes, but I do everything by session. So each session that we have is going to cover those things. But I have my private tutorials, but in my mentorship, I personally dig into everything, whether that be the Amazon, how to report credit to all 3 credit bureaus, and I check over your credit criteria. So for those who already got my mentorship, I log into your experience, I check your report. I tell you exactly what you need on your credit. I tell you what you need to take off, and I teach you how to file an FTC report just in case you want to dispute it through the credit bureaus. You get what I'm saying? So I do everything, the whole 9 yards. In my mentorship, you allowed to come to all the Zoom classes. You don't have to pay for that. And like I say, family, when I teach you guys a process, there's no need for me to keep telling you to come to a mentorship on a month-to-month basis. No, I'm the type, when I teach you how to create a credit profile using the EIN, it's just one time. It's not never again, because you're going to know how to do it. Now, if you don't know how to do it, either you haven't been paying attention, or it's like, you need more help, and it's okay. So I'm going to be able to assist you with it. Yeah, Santander is one of those banks you could take off easily. And Santander, yeah, that's a bank. I want to say, yeah. I got a couple students, they had a vehicle through Santander. Um, a situation happened where they I think they repoed their car. Santander is one of those lenders that will lend you a car and take it right back from you. Like, I think they wait till 3 months after you miss all of your payment just so they know that you won't catch back up. You want me to tell you something crazy? Did y'all know after y'all miss y'all repo, like say if the bank wanted to repossess y'all vehicle, and let's just say 1 month go by, they might not even repo it. They might not repo it until the 5th month. So once the 5th month come about, that's when they report, because they're going to actually give you the option to say, in order for you to get your vehicle back, you have to pay us the full amount. That's another way that the banks get over on you. And I just found out about that. I'm like, hold on. So they waited until you almost charged off so they can take the vehicle and say, yeah, you got to pay the full amount. Man, that's garbage right there. That's garbage. But we got to be careful. You got to be careful. And if any of you guys are trying to get vehicles and everything like that and don't want to pay them back, that's okay. But you need to understand my process on how to avoid repossessions and how to watch out for charge-offs and what to expect during the repossession phase. What is a repossession order? You get what I'm saying? How can your vehicle get picked up on a repossession? What happens if the lender decides to sue you in case that you default on a loan, or they charge off the vehicle and they want to take you to court? You get what I'm saying? All these things you got to look out for, and I know how to do all of it. I know when and how to not sign a promissory note. I know how to hide your vehicles from repossession. I know how to put the anti-tracker device on your car. What else I know how to do? I know how to go about getting a lien release. Now, the lien release, like I say, tell a lot of people, the lien release is that process is not 100%. Just because you file for a lien release does not mean that the lender will be so, at ease of giving you the lien release. That's not 100%. The goal is to attempt to get the lien release. Now, if they don't release the lien, you want to put it in your lender's mind that you no longer have possession of that vehicle. Now, usually the lenders don't go after the vehicle after it's been charged off. Now, if you so happen to run into a bump or a hiccup or something like that after your vehicle, let's just say if the vehicle's been charged off, but they still trying to repo it, usually that would be because you got your car from a finance company and that's not a bank auto loan. So understand those two things. because finance companies will still come after the vehicle, even though the bank on their end charged off the car. Just because you see it's been charged off, that does not mean that the finance company is done looking for it. Because remember, finance companies borrow money from the bank on your behalf. The bank give you the money. You get what I'm saying? It's two different things. The finance company borrow money from the bank in order for you to get a car. The bank gives you the money. It's two different things. It's just like a third party. So finance companies, those are one of the easiest people to get approved for. Let's just say if you got a 780 credit score, right? And you got A1 credit, you can get a bank auto loan. But let's just say if you got messed up credit, your credit at a low 600, you never had anything on your credit, you might just got to show pay stubs. Those are finance company situations. Those are not bank situations. Two different things. So when you originally go through a finance company, they have to contact the bank lender to see what the bank give it to you. So the finance company have to co-sign the loan in order for you to get the auto loan. So once you're able to get the auto loan through the bank, because of the finance company carried a bigger load, because if you ever default on the loan, the finance company get hit. So that's why the finance company, even if the banks charge it off, they are still responsible for the debt. Not just you, but them as well. You get what I'm saying? So it's not the same thing. So be careful from the both, because bank loans are not the same as finance companies. The banks can easily just write it off. It's a loss, get all the money back from the Federal Reserve. But the finance company, they can write it off, but they have a limitation on the amount of write-offs, especially when you comparing it to the bank. It's not the same thing. It's not. Most of the time, yes. If you go to the dealership and you just sign some papers without even realizing, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of my students who I do lien release for, I ask them, who is your lender? They tell me that I don't know. And when they tell me they don't know, I know that they have a finance loan. I know they did not receive a bank loan, because when you have a bank loan, you know you have a loan. But when you have a finance loan or a finance company that finance your car, you don't sometimes even know the name. That's why some people will say, oh, he said you got approved. Oh, how much? 42,000. And you don't even know the lender. And then you find out the lender, like, who is the lender? Oh, GM Financial. Or if you were here, Chrysler Financial, Chrysler Capital Financial, Honda Financial, BMW Financial Services. Those are not banks. Those are finance companies. Those are two different things when dealing with lending. Those are not the same thing. Those are not banks. Those are not banks at all. The same way almost with a mortgage. It's almost the same thing. So you go through a mortgage broker or you go through a bank. It's two different. Now, mortgages are way more secure than auto loans. So a mortgage company get their money, like a mortgage broker get their money from a private investor. Well, the banks is the one who financing the loan for you, while the mortgage brokers go through private corporations, private companies, and private investors, and they actually are able to write up the draft, the money, and they fund the loan just like that, especially if they approve of it. You get what I'm saying? So you got to know the difference. Finance companies are not the same thing as banks. So with that being said, let's just say if you do go through GM Financial and everything, let's just say 6 months later, the vehicle's been charged off. Now, the thing about the finance company, they still going to send out the repossessions, right? Because remember, they are still placed as the lien holder on the vehicle, but they still have a bank loan that they owe as well. So they still been making payments on a car that you missed. So, so they want their money. So they're going to try their best. They're going to try their absolute best to finally locate that vehicle. Now, most of the time they don't get it, because I got a lot of students who go 4 or 5 years and they never made a payment and the vehicle's been charged off, and they won. In my book, they won, right? But it's kind of a bad situation because they always know in the back of their mind that finance company not going to give up. But it really depends on the value of the vehicle. So if the vehicle value is like extremely high, let's just say over 50,000, then they're gonna look for it for a while. But if it's like under 10,000 and it's been 4 years or 3 years, they're not gonna think about it no more. So you pretty much got a free car. Your only issue and obstacle is you want to release the security interest. Now, when you have a finance loan, good luck, because I tried to go through a finance company to do a lien release. I don't get no luck with them. But I went through a bank and got a lien release, but I couldn't get it through the finance company. Because remember, when the banks charge off the loan, they done with it. They don't even want it. They don't even want to think about it no more. That's a clear write-off to them. That's nothing to them. But a finance company would think about that loan forever. The banks work like this. You can ditch a bank loan, they could charge it off. You could take those charge off your credit and go right back to that same bank and apply and get approved again. Because banks different. Banks and finance companies are different. That's why I never dealt with a finance company when dealing with an auto loan. Because finance companies overcharge you. Finance companies make you put a higher down payment. Banks don't do that. It's either you got good credit or not. If you got good credit with a bank, you ain't got to worry about putting a down payment. They're going to come with the full amount. A UCC1 lien would not stop the repossession agent, because remember, they hold the title. They hold the state title. They don't care about the what's the other title called again? The manufacturing, the MCO title. They don't care about that. And the dealer not gonna give it to you. The only way the dealer would give you an MCO title, if you bought the vehicle cash money. That's the only way they'll give you the MCO title. They won't give it to you. They actually gonna keep it for themselves. They keep it for themselves. They don't even give it to the lender. I found out that they don't give it to the lender. They keep it themselves. So you actually can request it if you want to. You know, you can request it if you want to, family. Yeah, so, this stuff is real, family. You need to try. Thank you, family. I appreciate it. Thank you. Altruism first. I appreciate it, fam. Yes, family. If you want to get the passport process, I do it too. But y'all do know I got the status correction, like this passport process, on my channel. I already put that video out. That's not my private video. That's the one I put out for everyone. So if you guys want to learn how to correct your status via passport, just type in Taquan X, how to become a state citizen, and it should pop up. But yeah, family, yeah, that's how you do it, Make sure y'all stand on business. Make sure y'all on point. Make sure y'all out here doing it. Make sure y'all trying to get it. These banks giving out everything. And like I say, I'm right with you guys. Whatever you guys want to see, I'm going to make sure that I'm showing you guys step by step. Like, okay, we got this. We borrowed this from this bank. We got this. So just so you guys can know, like, it's real. They giving it out like that. But I want you guys to see it. I don't want you guys to be brainwashed and all. Like, I want you guys to know that this stuff real. And you could be like, all right, I'm done with my job. I want to find out, how can I make $1 million? How can I get the bank to lend me $100,000? You know how many credit people out here that's doing it? But the only thing that they missing out, they're not telling you how to do it. They're just telling you the credit score. But it's all about your profile. That's why I'm keep telling you guys, put some real estate on y'all name when doing it, either real estate or vehicles. You can start with a vehicle, you can start with real estate, and it does not have to be expensive. It don't have to be the grandiose home. It don't have to be the palace in Beverly Hills. It can be literally a $70,000 to $100,000 home that you can get. You get what I'm saying? Start small. Yes, that's why I teach. I teach data furnishing. Yes, sir. Billy Stacy, I appreciate it, fam. Yeah, they end up renegotiating the loan. Facts, fam. Yep. I want you guys to have firsthand knowledge of all of this. I want you guys to see everything. I want you guys to really experience this. It's gonna be a lot, especially when we in a situation where we talking about we getting $1 million from the bank on real estate, and we can borrow against that. That's gonna be crazy, because now you like, dang, this ain't no credit guru. This man really live exactly what he teach, because that's the biggest benefit right there to banks. Why I ain't thought of this 10 years ago? Because if anything, we could have cut the small talk and we could have went straight and did this. You can have a fleet of cars, 7, 8 vehicles that you paying on a month-to-month basis, but you renting out all of your vehicles. There's some people make passively $20,000 a month. Some people get the homes, or they want to rent out a house, or they want to rent out a duplex. But some people don't know how to go about getting a home. Some people don't know how to go about getting a duplex. Some people don't know how to go about it. So that's why I want to make sure you guys know, like, okay, this is how you can do this is how you can do that, just so you won't be confused about what's going on. I'm torn between buying zombie debt and data furnishing. Data furnishing is not for yourself. So let's just say if you want to report credit, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I think if many of you guys got the data furnishing in front of y'all, y'all would be in federal prison. And the reason why I say that is because I know from what I see, yes, I do offer a course for the data furniture. I can teach you how to do it. But I knew once Metro 2 is in front of y'all face and y'all typing in like y'all accounts and everything, you're going to put your name, you're going to put your address and everything like that. And you're going to report an installment account. You're going to try to backdate it 20 some years. And you're going to put that the debt that you owe is over $2 million. You're going to overly hype your profile up. And then you are trying to influence a bank to make a credit decision, which is a federal crime, because you try to enhance your credit report by falsifying information to the credit bureaus. Like, that's gonna be a good federal case for the feds to get you. Like, do y'all know that's not for that? It's other ways you can do it that can be similar, but you have to have some exchangeable. The stuff that we teach as far as like finance, the government all over that. They're looking at everything. Anything that can be a financial come up, anything that can be financial gains or anything like that, they automatically look at that stuff, y'all. 20 years, yes. They gonna backdate it to 200 years if they can. They gonna backdate it so long, and they gonna make the installment look like they paid 90% of the loan. Like, of course you're gonna get approved for everything. If you had a backdated account that's saying that you paid $2 million for, and it's an installment loan, and it's over 20 years old, and you paid up 90% of it, of course you literally can go in any bank and grab anything you want. So if you go to Amex and you say, hey man, I want this business credit card, they're gonna give it to you in a snap of a finger. They not gonna play with you. But it's like, no, I'm saying that they're gonna stop the whole thing. Even the credit bureaus, they're gonna stop it because they're gonna contact you. It's not gonna be me, they're gonna contact you. They're gonna say, hold on, you reporting a $2 million account that's backdated for 2 years. Can you send us the contract and documentation that supports this account? And also, why is your first name is on this account? Because remember, the credit bureaus know that you the one who applied for the data furnishing agreement. So that's not supposed to be for self. That's supposed to be for your business. If anything, you will be better off reporting all of your family members and people around you, but not for no crazy amount. Not for no $2 million. Like, who gonna overlook $2 million? Who gonna overlook $200,000? You get what I'm saying? Now, if you say 20,000, 3-year backdated, perfect. 50,000, 4-year backdated, perfect. But $2 million, 20-year backdated, yeah, federal prison. So, be careful with that. No, okay, so it's two sides to reporting credit. So you got Metro 2, right? You can report credit, personal credit and business credit, but you got to understand when you get a data furnishing agreement, you have to go to Dun and Bradstreet. You have to go to Experian Business, and I think Equifax Business. These are the credit reporting agencies for business, not the personal. And it's actually easier probably because they're not going to put you through too much stress like the personal ones is. Because remember, when you're reporting personal consumer credit, they check everything. They check your business. They see how long you've been in business, what products you have, and they are so sensitive to any little thing. So if it's one thing that your business lack, they're not going to be comfortable with giving you that, because that's like giving you money. That's literally like giving you power. You can report credit. You know how dangerous that is? If you can literally report credit unlimited, that is dangerous. That is dangerous because you can do whatever you want. That's the thing. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can report for other companies as well. So you can be a data furnisher agreement. A data furnisher as a third party for other companies. So let's just say if 10 other companies that's dealing with LLCs and they say they want people credit history to be reported, And you can do it as a third party, and you decided that you want your company to do that, and you can do that. Whether they paying an electricity bill, whether they paying an installment, whether they were paying a revolving account, a credit card account, a line of credit. You get what I'm saying? So all of that stuff you can report. Even mortgages is on there as well. So if you report mortgages, it's going to show mortgage. If you report a personal loan, you can show a personal loan. If you want to report auto loans, you can show an auto loan. You can show everything. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, Joe Johnson. But yeah, so, just be careful with that. But for the most part, the bank's giving out everything, family. They giving it out. You ain't got to steal for it. You ain't even got to do that. You could just understand how to build up your profile. You got to understand what factors they look at. But then this is the thing. That's not just the biggest thing. You want to know what banks is like that you can actually use, like how you can, like what banks is offering the best products. For me, I'm starting to look at American Express as well. American Express has a lot of good products, and that's not the only bank. You got it's the banks that we least expected, because a lot of banks are competing with each other. So they competing for your business. So if you got a A1 credit profile, they competing for your business. So American Express might be good. Chase Bank might be better, because I know there's some Chase Bank credit cards that go all the way up to $500,000. The black Sapphire card for business, reserved for business, that go up to $500,000. And I think you gotta get an invitation to even get that type of card. So you can't even get that card just because you want it. You actually have to have an excellent relationship with Chase to get it. Yeah. You got to have an excellent profile. But all right, family, look, if anybody want to get in contact with me, if anybody want a consultation or anything like that, don't hesitate. Hit me up. My phone number is 224-463-1848. Again, it is 224-463-1848. I'm out. Peace and love.